I suppose I could have picked a less crunchy place to shoot this video. The autumn leaves are underfoot. I'm out for a little walk and talk. This is very unlike me. If you know me at all, I don't do a lot of walking. I do a fair amount of talking, don't get me wrong, but I'm much more of a, hey, let's have a seat type of guy. But there's a specific reason I'm out doing this walk and talk. If you stick around, I'll tell you what it is. I'll do better than that. If you stick around, I'll show you what it is. Sidebar, here's a good vlogging tip. Try not to vlog when you're walking uphill unless you have 4 or 5 lungs in your chest. Okay, that's enough walking. I'll keep talking, but we're done with the walking portion of today's show. I was out doing a walk and talk because I got myself a new bit of gear, a new bit of camera gear that's going to help stabilize my footage. It's a 3-axis gimbal, and it's built specifically for phones. It's called a Zhiyun Smooth Q. This is not an endorsement for Zhiyun. I don't know, they're from Adam. I just did some reviews online and found this one had good reviews. It was also fairly inexpensive, and it was also very easy to use and set up because I'm not a real genius tech head, right? So out of the box, it takes about 11 seconds and you're going. So it's pretty good. Now normally when I'm on the road vlogging or in the game room studio shooting a bit of footage, I shoot with a Canon T7i. It's a smallish entry-level DSLR, fantastic camera. I recommend it highly. I also have an old Canon 5D Mark II, but I don't do any vlogging with that. Partly because there's no autofocus, partly because it weighs about as much as a frozen turkey. It's the size of a radio from the 1930s, the type of radio that would be like a part of the furniture. You know, the family would gather around, listen to the news, see if Hitler was going to start any trouble. It's an amazing piece of hardware, but it's, you know, it's like carrying an adult pig around your neck. So the T7i is great. It's small, functional, it's fantastic. But there are times when I'm on the road when I just want to, especially if I'm in a car, if me and the comic that I'm on the road with are in the car, I want to just grab my phone and shoot. See, the phone is very light, that's a plus, but the lighter something is, the harder it is to stabilize. Bounces all over the place because it doesn't have any gravity, right? Guy could use a muffler probably, right? What's a muffler cost today? 80 bucks? Get a muffler for the love of fudge. So I use the T7i a lot. It's a fantastic camera, but there are times when I just want to grab my phone, just shoot on my phone. It's light, quick, run and gun, but the lighter something is, the harder it is to stabilize because it doesn't have any gravity. It doesn't pull to the planet, right? So it's shaky, wobbly. So that's why I got this little Zhiyun Smooth Q stabilizer. Fantastic gear so far. I'm new to using it, so I'm not super proficient yet. I'll shoot some comparison footage with and without the Zhiyun Smooth Q so you can see the difference that it makes. Very noticeable, I think. And then we'll go back to the game room studio. I'll show you the audio rig that I set up here so I can get decent audio while I'm using the Q. I'm just going to call it the Q from now on. Pretty cool, eh? The Q. Oh, there's a little teaser. Fuzzy audio teaser. Okay, so here's me doing a little walk and talk with the stabilizing unit. It's very rough ground. This is an old sidewalk. The roots of the trees are bumping up through it, so it's kind of a clunky sidewalk, so this is a pretty good test. All right, and this is without the Q, holding it as stable as I can. Yeah, so I'm liking this. This is going to become a regular part of the kit bag, I'm telling you right now. All right, back in the game room studio. Let's lose the groovy shades and get down to business. I told you I would show you the audio setup that I used with the Zhiyun Smooth Q. Here's the actual unit itself. I gave you a little look at it earlier on the kitchen counter, but this is it, the size of it. I'm not going to go through all the technical details because there are about 536,000 videos on YouTube about Zhiyun Smooth Q. I'll just say that it has a lot of features, especially if you get the app that allows you to run your phone straight from here at the little control panel on the front. Even if you don't want to use the app, just the built-in system allows you to shoot using your phone application real easily. Like I said, I was up and running in about 11 seconds. But the problem is, you know, using the phone audio, the built-in mic on the phone isn't the best, right? So you want to have some kind of external audio system, some kind of external microphone recording sound into the phone. That's the best way to do it. But where do you hook it up, right? Well, on the bottom of the Zhiyun Smooth Q, there's a little 1/4-20 screw, so you can screw that into a tripod or something. And that's what I did. I screwed it into a little handheld tripod like this. This is a little Manfrotto tripod, but any little tripod that you want to use is fine. You can also screw it onto the top of your huge tripod if you want. I've seen people do that. But if you want, before you screw the tripod on there, you can add a little arm in between the unit and the tripod. Like this, a little arm like this, extension arm. It's got 1/4 20 in and out on both sides. I've attached a little a cold shoe mount on this end. And these type of little arms are available at most camera shops, or you can buy them online at Amazon or wherever. So I screw that into the bottom. There you have the little arm in between the tripod and the bottom of the stabilizer. Then you can attach a microphone. I use the Sennheiser MKE 440 stereo directional microphone. It's like that. It's the one that's shaped like a V, right? I got the windsock on it so you can't really tell here. Here, let me get the windsock off. I'll show you. There. The MKE 440 stereo directional microphone. Each shotgun mic in there is mounted on a shock mount. That's the mic that I use generally, but whatever microphone you're going to use, you can attach it to the cold shoe mount like so, comme ça. Then you run this up to the phone. You have to use an adapter, a TRS to TRRS adapter, unless you have a special microphone that is already a TRRS adapter or input, which is what you need for a smartphone. And then I run that in, because the phone I use is an iPhone 8, which has a lightning port. So then I have to use the little lightning dongle, the 3.5 to lightning dongle. It's that little dongle there. You know the one. So you put the 3.5 TRRS into the dongle into the phone. Then when you're mounting the phone into the clip that holds the phone on the Smooth Q, you just have to make sure that your phone is far enough away from that axis that you can actually fit it in. But it does fit, no problem. And then you just balance it accordingly. Very simple and easy to do. Just adjust that little arm so it comes out, find the balancing point so it's close, fire it up. Boom. And that's basically the setup. You can see that I have the microphone nice and close to my yap. I got to point it properly. Don't have it tightened down. Microphone is pointed at my yap, right? So I can pick up the sound of the dog walking by. Phone is pointed at your face in selfie mode. You can easily flip it around so it's going the other way because of the setup. It has a selfie setup built right in. Hold the phone, buddy. So boom, there it is. That's the setup I was using when I was outside, using this for the first time. This tripod is handy too because you can easily open it up, set it down like that. Now your hand's free if you ever need to, that was kind of jazz handsy. You pick it up, use that as an extender, or just use the handle itself so you can use the joystick. Like I said, there's a ton of videos on here about how to use a stabilizer, whether it's the Zhiyun Smooth Q like this or whatever one you're thinking about buying. Lots of videos online about how to actually use the proper functions in there, so I'm not going to go into it. But this is going to stabilize my footage. You can see it already working right there, right? Stabilizing my phone as I move the tripod around. So it's a great unit. I'm going to take it on the road with me when I do stand-up, when I shoot vlogs from the road. I'm still going to take my T7i here because I love it and I use it everywhere. It's going to be my main camera for shooting, but I'm going to take this along so that I can use my phone for tight, small situations, or if I just need to get up and running quickly. If you are interested in seeing me do videos from the road, either on my own or talking to other comedians when I'm traveling and touring, I'll link to some of those videos here. I'll put one of them up here. You can click on that and watch the video. And like I said, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for sharing the word, telling your friends, and supporting the Butt Pod. Much appreciated. Talk to you soon.